Hi, everyone, and welcome into the Writers Roundtable. I'm Taylor Stern with Nick Eatman, Rob Phillips, and Dave Hellman. Guys, free agency so soon, the exciting time of March. You've already been to the Combine. You got Witten back here. So how does that affect everything coming up? Dave?
How does that affect everything coming up? I'm wondering. We're heading into free agency. This is, my 7th time doing this, I think.
You're old.
I know. I'm getting there, man. 30 now. It's gross. I'm thinking, is it what they need to do, what they will do?
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think those are two completely different conversations at this point. We know the Cowboys aren't big spenders in free agency. They haven't been in a long time. This first week of free agency is when all the silly money gets thrown around, and I think we've done this long enough to know that that's not what the Cowboys are interested in. They do things like, remove the name Jason Witten, and then all of a sudden it becomes a much more understandable signing. A veteran tight end who can give you flexibility in the draft, who can play without breaking the bank. That's the type of signings they're looking for. Now, whether that's going to get them over the top into the next round of the playoffs next season, that's a different conversation.
Some would argue he was the missing piece this last season.
Yeah. Ooh.
Not Dave.
No, okay, all right.
They needed something in the red zone, and whether it was not having Witten, sorry to jump your turn here, but I mean not having Witten,
hard and fast rules.
not having Witten and not having Frederick. I think a couple of those were factors there. I mean, maybe they both come back. They have similar circumstances when it comes to, hey, you're away from football for a year. The last game you played was in the Pro Bowl, so that's actually a good thing. Shows you're a good player, but you still have to come back. So I think those things can maybe help. I don't even know, if we were going that route, but we just went red zone.
Rob, you were at the Combine and you saw them not looking at any first-round options because they kind of have that already in Amari Cooper. So you think they'll just kind of retain their own guys, stay less aggressive?
Yeah, Stephen Jones had the joke of when they look at the first round when it's unfolding, they're just going to put on the Amari Cooper highlights and enjoy those because that's their first round pick. It was an interesting Combine week, and they're always busy because agents are in town, but I haven't seen it quite like that where they have, you name the Pro Bowls that are eligible for extensions that we've all talked about. The Cowboys had discussions with all their agents just about during Combine week, and that is the focus, and that's what happens when you draft well. You have good players. Now, ultimately, they all need deals. And that has to be the first priority. I know fans don't like to hear it, but that is what they've got to do first. And that's what they've got to budget for. Now, when people talk about, they've got $50 million plus in cap space, they really don't because they're budgeting for DeMarcus Lawrence. They're budgeting for Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott. That's got to be the focus. I would not be surprised, though, if they find some bargains potentially in free agency, especially on the defensive line with the Gregory suspension and not knowing what's up with Tank being tagged right now.
I'm the only one up here with kids, so I'll say this.
True.
But I think all of us know that if you, and my son will be 4 at Christmas, so if I wrapped up his old presents at Christmas morning and said, guess what, this is your presents, you get to keep them.
These were expensive.
Yeah, these were expensive, and you get to keep them. You're about to lose them, and you get to keep them. That's not really gonna fly real well with fans, and that's pretty much what it is. It's like your free agents are, like Rob said, signing.
They kind of count as free agents, but they don't. Even Witten is technically a free agent signing because he unritared, but fans have seen him before. He's not new.
They will bring in some free agents.
They will. They have to.
No,
they have to.
You have to fill out your roster. They will spend some money. Whether it's going to be the type of name that's going to get people excited and sell jerseys, history indicates not. So we'll have to see how that plays out. There are, we talked about this before the segment started. There's a lot of safeties on the market right now. Can they afford to go after any of them? I honestly don't know. They might be able to find.
But I'm going to be that fan that you see on Twitter all the time. I'm going to be that guy just for a second. They use crazy that says, all right, yeah, they need, to sign their own guys, but at what point do you get over the top? It's been 23 years before they win a championship.
You sound a lot like my mentions right now.
It's like you can get to 8-8, you can get to 10-6 and all that, but who's going to take them over the top? Just re-signing Cooper, Zeke, Dak, is that going to help them do that? I mean, at some point, I think you need to do that. And
no question.
I noticed none of you mentioned Cole Beasley, and I think he's ready for this week. He's been ready for this week all season when he's been sending out his fiery tweets. And I feel like fans, if they're looking for people like that, Cole Beasley wouldn't be the guy that you want to give that big money to, even though he's requesting that. Am I right?
Well, that's the difficulty of the salary cap. I think the world of Cole Beasley as a player, but when you're budgeting for 6 Pro Bowlers and trying to find money to maybe pay a safety or a defensive tackle or a defensive end who can make this team better. Is there anything left in the budget for a Cole Beasley, no matter how good he is? And that's the problem with the salary cap. I think the answer is probably no.
I mean, just go to the forest where all the trees are that say, slot receivers, and just get one.
That's true.
Yeah, that's where you get him. I see where you're
Well,
going
he
with
said
that.
he
That's
joked.
what I heard. That's
He
what I heard.
joked around or he said that on Twitter. Do they just grow on trees? And no, they don't. And he's been an accomplished slot receiver. But it sounds like this particular year in this draft, and Dave, I know you've said that's a little higher priority in the draft than other people think. That there are some pretty good slot receivers this year. And I'm going to steal Dave's line too. Slot receivers don't have to be under 5'10". They don't have to be.
Nope.
And
Stand up for the short people, though.
I honestly believe that Cole benefited from having Dez here.
Yeah.
Because when Dez was here, he didn't slide into the slot for whatever reason. He didn't do that, and therefore Beasley needed to be in there. Now you're going to put Cooper in there more, and what happens to Beasley? He goes off the field.
Exactly.
So you need a slot receiver that can also go inside, outside.
That is one thing Jerry said at the combine. We're going to play Cooper all over the formation. We saw a little bit of that last year.
Man.
I don't expect that, I don't expect them to throw silly money around in the next 3 weeks, but I do think this could be the most interesting free agency period the Cowboys have had in a while. I mean, starting with Jason Witten, who saw that coming?
Yeah.
That is a mic drop if we've ever had a mic drop in the offseason. So if you guys are following along on DallasCowboys.com, they do have a fabulous, fabulous free agency tracker that will keep you posted. Darian Thompson signed, so stay tuned to that. And thanks so much for watching.